Guys, I'm not at my usual filming location right now. I'm actually at my mom's house, but I really wanted to make a video. So, today I'm gonna talk about the changes to expect in the first 6 months of going on testosterone. So, kind of the first thing that you'll usually notice is actually um, bottom growth, which sounds kind of weird, but the clitoris will actually grow as you go on testosterone. And so that's usually one of the first things that you notice. You might also, I didn't get this, but you may get some, like you might notice, like maybe like a dryness, itchiness in your throat, or maybe it kind of feels like you have like something stuck in your throat. I've heard of that happening for people, and that's because your uh, your vocal cords are gonna thicken, and your voice is gonna get deeper. So it took me about 5 months to really notice a big difference in my voice. That for a while it kind of sounded like I had a cold, which is kind of funny, but yeah, I had people like ask me if I was sick and stuff like that, but nope, I'm just on testosterone. And I'm currently 10 and a half months on testosterone. Um, 10? 11? I'm actually 11 months on testosterone now. I just realized as of yesterday. But yeah, I'm 11 months on testosterone, and it's taken me like I think my voice kind of stopped changing around the 10-month mark. That it got substantially deeper after 5 or 6 months, but I think that at around 10 months, that's when it kind of like settles. It might get deeper in the future, I'm not sure. Um, but I'm almost a year, so that's exciting. Um, Another thing that you're gonna notice is that you're gonna get hungrier. I was really hungry for like the first couple of months. I was eating a lot. I gained a lot of weight. I actually, from this time last year to now, I actually gained 50 pounds. I went from 110 to 160. So the thing about it though is that the way I don't know if this would happen to everybody else, but the way that I gained weight was that I actually gained a lot of muscle in my legs and my arms, and I've got a little bit of chub on my face, but I gained a lot of muscle, so I didn't really like go up very much in sizes as far as clothes go, but I did gain weight. So that's another like side effect of testosterone. Something else that you might notice is that I don't think this has happened to me. I can't really tell, but you get kind of a more like square hairline. If you see what I'm talking about, I've got it a little bit, kind of like a more squared like shape to your face, a little bit less of a like rounded hairline. So that might give like a more masculine uh, presentation to your face. And I've noticed in like the past month or so that my face has actually gotten more square. I've got more of a jawline. So if you are kind of worried about like the shape of your face, sorry, that usually comes, I'd say probably like 10 to 14 months is probably like the range when you're gonna start noticing your face shape changing. Personally, like I said, I'm 11 months and I haven't noticed my body like changing shape really. So if you look, I've still got some pretty like wide hips. Um, so I haven't noticed my body changing a whole lot as far as my fat distribution. Um, as far as the breasts go, I haven't had top surgery, so I think that I had fairly large breasts. So, I bind every day pretty much, except when I wear like a big sweater or whatever. But they kind of like deflate a little bit. Like, they've got a little bit less plumpness to them. I guess that's a weird way to describe it. But yeah, I think the best way to describe it is that they kind of deflate, and they get. This could be combined with binding. You might not notice as much of this if you don't bind, but like the testosterone combined with the binding makes for kind of a more muscular chest rather than a like fatty, like round chest, if that makes sense. It kind of like squares off a little bit more. And something else is body hair. Like lots and lots of body hair. You are going to have stomach hair, hair on your stomach. You're going to have hair on your legs, on your feet, on your arms, on your toes, and on your butt. You're going to have ass hair. Like that's just how it goes. And probably back hair too. I'm pretty hairy like everywhere. I'm a pretty hairy guy. I've got, even like pre-T, I had a lot of hair on my arms and my legs, and not so much on my stomach or my back, but I have more on my stomach and my back now. And I've got a little bit of facial hair like going on, like a little bit under my chin, but from a lot of guys, I'm in a lot of trans guy Facebook groups, and most of them have said that you don't really get facial hair, maybe even years into your T treatments. So it might take a couple years. There are some guys that are lucky enough to have facial hair in their first year, but not everybody. It's all up to genetics. Not everybody's experience with testosterone is going to be the same. So I'm not really destined to have much facial hair, probably. I've got a little bit of like darker like stuff going on around here, a little bit under my chin, but nothing substantial so far. Something else is the odor. You will notice probably within a couple months that your odor actually changes. So like the way that your sweat smells, and this one's kind of a weird one because I actually thought that there was something wrong with me when I would go to the bathroom and my urine had a different smell. And I thought that I was diabetic. I was freaking out. I was like, I gotta go to the doctor. I started drinking more water, and I started like eating differently, and I didn't notice change. And I was like, okay, well, what the hell's going on? And then I realized that it was actually the testosterone, that you have a more like manly smell, like a more masculine smell. And yeah, men and women actually have different smells to their their urine, that they actually smell different, which is super weird to me because like I can actually notice, like if I go to a bathroom in somebody's home and somebody went to the bathroom right before me, I'll know whether they were male or female, which is kind of weird. And like women's bathrooms smell awful to me now. Like I hated the way guys smelled before I got on testosterone, but now like I said, women's bathrooms smell awful to me now. So that's another thing. And I've seen some people have questions about like sexuality and sex drive. Personally, for me, I would actually consider myself to have been hypersexual before starting T. I was a very sexual person. I was like I was basically very horny all the time. But after starting testosterone, I actually noticed that went down. That's not true for everybody. Some people definitely have an increased sex drive, but I've seen people also have questions as far as like your actual sexual orientation goes. So I don't think, this is just my experience, in my opinion, and what I've noticed in like other people is that it's a psychological thing, that testosterone, the hormone itself, is not going to change your sexuality, because obviously there's cis men that are gay, and there's cis men that are bisexual, and there's cis men that are straight, and there's cis men that are asexual too. But and they have testosterone naturally going through their bodies. So I don't think that testosterone, the hormone itself, is going to change your sexuality. I think it's about how you become comfortable with your identity as a male, or if you're non-binary, of course, that's completely valid too when you're on testosterone. As your identity as a masculine person, as a transmasculine person, then you're either going to become more comfortable in your attraction to men, women, etc., or your lack of attraction. So testosterone, it's more than just a physical journey, it's definitely a psychological journey. And a lot of people also, that something that they kind of warn you about before you go on testosterone is that you might become more irritable or more moody. And this actually did not happen for me. That combined with, I've been going to therapy for about a year now and taking medication, and I have changed so much in the past year, the past 11 months. Who I am is so different, and I am so much happier now, and I'm just so comfortable with myself. I'm comfortable being who I am, and I think that this is true for a lot of other people that go through hormone treatments as well, not even just testosterone. That I've heard a lot of testimony saying that people who go on hormones, despite the physical side effects may state that you will become more moody or more irritable, that it's actually the opposite, that these people are happier with themselves, so they have a tendency to exert happiness. So that's definitely been my experience with the psychological portion of it. And if this is a message, if you're considering going on testosterone or you want to look more into it, definitely make sure that you research the side effects, that you know what you're getting yourself into, because I see some people that aren't quite sure if they want to go on testosterone, and you go on it and you realize that this was like the worst decision you've ever made in your life. And that's okay. It's okay if testosterone is not for you. It's okay if you don't want to go on testosterone, or if you don't want to medically transition. That's okay. It's completely fine that you're still valid as a trans person or a non-binary person. It doesn't make you less trans or non-binary if you don't want to go on testosterone. It's just a step that many of us take, that it's a difficult step. It's expensive. It can be expensive. It's a little scary. And if you're scared, just remember that this is your happiness that's at stake. That if you know in your heart that going on testosterone is going to be what helps you, then it's important to make that choice for your happiness. And I think that that's all I can really say on that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any more questions about my experience with testosterone, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. I'm happy to answer any questions about experiencing testosterone. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.